let us go into your reading. What I'm going to do, the way this format works is I have a spread laid out in front of me, and I use the 12 card natal astrology, the 12 houses spread, okay? And I have extracted 4 messages for you. I'm going to repeat the messages, and then we're going to unpack them and go a little bit more in depth about what the messages mean and which areas of your life they're playing out. So, first message, you guys have a whole new world, and this basically means you've been waiting for life to start. You've been waiting for opportunities to get your feet wet. You've been waiting for an opportunity to prove yourself, to put theory to practice and show off, okay? The opportunity is coming. Let me see, 5 weeks, 5 weeks time. 5 weeks time is going to take us into the May time frame. And so I feel like the month of May, as well as June, July, there will be major breakthroughs here. And I feel like, life is really going to begin again, and things are really going to be starting over for you in a really wonderful way. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth because I see it playing out in 3 areas. The second message here is bottoming out. Bottoming out. Things that were not done in a diligent manner, things that were kind of slapped together without, thoughts about longevity, without thoughts about durability. Those things are going to bottom out. And if you are at all moving, you need to fortify those boxes. If you're packing, heavy books, heavy, fragile items, they're bottoming out. So you want to be really, really careful. This can be metaphorical, this can be literal, and I've seen it play out where certain messages can be metaphorical and certain messages also, in the same month, play out in a very literal sense. Bottoming out boxes and things just get, things that are not reinforced, they're going to kind of fall apart. So you want to be careful. Vehicles, if you have been kind of, I'm sensing like neglecting maintenance and just, putting a band-aid solution on things, those things are going to bottom out, and they're going to be a major, major source of contention and headache for you guys, okay? So be diligent, don't cut corners, and, do things the proper way, okay? And things that you might not have done, you might not have contributed to, if they have been done by somebody else and they've been kind of slapped together and just, treated with band-aid solutions, they're going to come to light and you're going to have to fix them, unfortunately. The third message here is, they say like cutting edge, okay? Cutting edge. So this is basically an area that is new, something that you're presenting to the world, something that you're bringing forth, something that, it has your name and your blueprint or your imprint on it. And when I said imprint, I see like this, the fingerprint. Okay, so it has your signature, it has your mark, it has your ideas on it. It's the epitome of you. You're bringing something out into the world. So I feel like cutting edge and new presentation. Okay, so you're bringing something forth, and there will be a lot of followers. Okay, the last message that I'm sensing here is I'm seeing this in quotation. So it says like, let me sort out my thoughts. Let me get back to you. Let me sort out my thoughts. Let me try to decide how I feel about this proposal, this proposition, this situation, this person before I get back to you. And it's a wonderful thing to do because we are going through a Mercury retrograde period. And the way that it affects us air signs, you, Gemini, Aquarius, the way it affects the air signs is that we're putting like, the apple, it's like we're comparing two things that might not be appropriate, apples and oranges. We're putting certain ideas in front of others that might not be logical. It's like what is that expression? The horse before the cart. So things like that. And so they're saying, if ever you feel like you need to take a step back. You don't know how you feel. You don't know what you think about certain things. It's important to step back, and it's really important to, allow yourself that leeway. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that processing time. Okay? There is no, I want to say, there's no penalty for it. And I feel like, in the daily hustle and grind, this is something that we don't really make allowances for. So tell people, let me sort out my thoughts and I'll get back to you. Okay? So let me just go over here the messages. Let us unpack them. So a whole new world. Many of you, I feel, are embarking on a new major phase in your life. I do see some people leaving the nest, so, moving out. And it is also the end of the school year. Well, we're heading that way anyways. So many of you are thinking about, going abroad, studying abroad, leaving the state, leaving the nest, embarking on the next phase of your life. And, you're doing it alone. You're first time like college students or people moving out, starting grad school. Moving away for a big job, possibly even overseas. I do see a lot of overseas voyages happening for many of you. And then I'm also seeing as well, give me just 1 second here. I'm also seeing as well, like, and I know it's weird, but I'm getting like an image here of this shower rod. I know it's weird. Shower rod. And they're saying like, decorating your house. So you might be moving out, living on your own, decorating your house, and having to do things for yourself for the very first time. And along with this newfound sense of freedom, there's also this newfound sense of excitement, right? Like, who isn't excited when it's their first time being on their own? So they're saying a whole new world is opening up for you. Many of you are embarking on a course of studies where it's like really drastically changing your worldview. It's making you more socially aware. It's making you develop this sense of social conscience where you're just like, I want to travel. I want to break out. I want to try new things. I want to explore different cultures. I want to learn about other people and how they live. So a new world is literally opening up for you. And I feel that you're getting this, wanderlust, that you've been bitten by the travel bug and you want to get yourself out there and you want to be in a different environment and explore new territory and see new things and learn from your environment. I'm feeling as well, for many of you, there's this wave, like just water, like emotions, tides coming in. And it basically reminds me almost like we're bored of the same patterns, the same cycles, the same tides. We want to experience different shores and different lands. So I'm sensing here that is the way that it's playing out. You don't want to be under lock and key. You don't want to work under, somebody else's mandates. You want to be able to kind of tread the water. It's like getting your feet wet, treading water, and embarking on a voyage on your own just to see if you're going to float or sink. So you really want to try your hands at something brand new. I'm seeing many of you in a work situation where you feel like it's almost like mundane, monotonous, where it's not really about cutting edge technology, or it's not about breakthroughs. The work itself could be very physically demanding. And as an air sign, you want to be able to share knowledge. You want to be able to, connect on a mental level. And you feel like the work itself is not intellectually challenging, nor is it intellectually gratifying. So you want to embark on a new path that is going to allow you to be able to shine, to have that stimulation. Okay. So the current environment is not giving you that. You need something that is a little bit more challenging. I'm also feeling many of you wanting to have a little bit more hands-on experience. So whatever you're learning in a classroom environment, you're also wanting to put theory to practice so that you can get your hands dirty, so that you can figure out for yourself, are these theories valid Or are they built on, you know, just or are they created by people that live in their ivory tower and they'd have like no practical sense about the real world? So you're trying to figure out, like, I'm learning this, but I'm not seeing that represented in the real world. So is somebody lying to me, or is it, you know, is it there that I need to explore? Is it there, and do I just need to explore it further? Putting theory to practice, debunking theories, figuring out if these theories are outdated or if they're still relevant, and then figuring out for yourself and finding like a method, a technique, methodologies that work particularly for you, rather than following the herd, following whatever was established as doctrine. So I see a lot of breaking out, a lot of trying new things, a lot of like charting new territories. That's going to be had. This is a process. I feel that's going to be happening for you guys for the next 2 years. It is a very, very powerful 2 year. It requires, 2 years. It requires a lot of hard work and dedication from your end. I also feel like you're managing multiple projects, or you have multiple responsibilities. So, for example, some of you might be dealing with work and school. And so when school picks up, when you're dealing with finals, you're going to need to shift gears and devote more time with school. And then when it's holiday season at work, you're going to have to put school aside and focus on work. So you're going to need to be a little bit strategic and methodical about how you handle it so that you don't slip up. And then I'm also seeing a lot of wait time. So you're doing something, there's a wait period, and then the work is just really, really lax. It's not very busy. So you have to find other ways to keep yourself entertained. I'm also seeing as well where you might get slammed with work, really, really slammed with a lot of work, a lot of clients for 1 week. And then the next week, no one comes in. So you need to be, you know, if you're working on a contract or commission or a project basis, you need to plan your schedule, your finances, so that when it's busy, you save up for that rainy day, because the next week might not be busy. So there's a lot of adulting that needs to happen. There's a lot of planning that needs to happen. And there's just a lot of like anticipating, saving for a rainy day, and, you know, dealing with this ebb and flow when it comes to the work patterns, okay? That needs to happen for you to manage the next 3 years successfully. Second message, bottoming out. Bottoming out. Once again, moving things, okay? Especially if you are dealing with really, really expensive items. You might be moving items around for other people. You might be transporting items, and I'm seeing a lot of like antiques, furniture, porcelain, you know, vases and figurines and lamps and things like that, and it's packed in a box, and, you know, it's not fortified, and then it bottoms out. I'm also seeing as well like lab work, like those flasks, like chemistry equipment. So being careful about that. Like a lot of fragile items, glass and you know, medical equipment, really, really expensive medical equipment, and also scientific equipment. I'm also seeing, they keep seeing, I keep seeing this shower rod with the shower curtain, but then the shower curtain looks like a tarp. And, you know, when we use tarps to cover things, to waterproof things, and it says bottoming out. So there could be like, you know, massive amounts of rainwater dripping through. So, you know, you just get your roofs checked out. If you are covering up items with a tarp and you're afraid of, you know, like you're trying to prevent it from getting rained on, check that area, okay? Make sure that it is really as waterproof as you think it is, or at least water resistant as you think it is. Finances, I feel, is also an area that is associated with this bottoming out. And so what I'm seeing here is you need to be extra careful to have the financial resources to do what you need to do. So this is really saving up for a rainy day, not counting your, chickens before they hatch. So that means if you're waiting for loans, if you're waiting for grants, if you're waiting for money to come in, you're waiting for gifts and, gift cards and cash aid and whatever it is. If it's not physically in your hands, don't spend it. Okay. So that means spending on credit or spending the money that you already anticipate is going to be coming in next week or next month. This is not a good time for us to be really lax when it comes to financial management. Okay, it's Mercury retrograde, and things that we are hoping for might be delayed. And if you're living, paycheck to paycheck, that can really hurt you. So you want to be extra careful about not spending money that is projected or that is saved for the future. If it's not in your hands, don't spend it. If it's not in your hands, it's not there. It's not real. Okay. So keeping that in mind, because I feel like the money sector is a little bit problematic. They are saying as well, resources coming from a maternal figure. So financial assistance coming from, mom, stepmom, grandma, aunts, like more of the maternal figure. I feel it's going to get delayed, or I feel like it dries up, or I feel like it bottoms out. And there's also here about, inheritance coming especially from the maternal side of the family. There is delay. There are reassessments that are happening from the maternal family side. Okay. So I feel like there is way too many things, too many elements that you can't really rely on. So financially, you need to be smarter about it, and you need to just only spend within your means. And if it's not in your hands, it's not real. It doesn't exist. Okay. The third message here, cutting edge new presentation. So I see many of you at a job fair, at a career fair, at a demonstration, where you have one of those, at an outreach event where you have a table set up, and you have posters, you have flyers, you have like logos and stuff on the table. And I see you interacting with a lot of people. You're smiling, you're welcoming people to your table. You're asking people questions, and people are asking you questions. It's your moment to shine. So I see many of you doing this in an outreach capacity. So you could be doing this at a college fair, at a community event, at a convention. Some of you could be representing a university, like a recruiting agent for a university, recruiting agent for a specific organization. I see blood bank, like donating blood a lot. I am seeing that. I'm also seeing as well taste test. Try this product, try that product. So there's a lot of, it's a mixture of things. You're going to have a really good time. I'm seeing some people as well selling their own products, jewelry, drinks, lotions, cosmetics. I also feel as well like you have like a massage technique or something like that with a chair, and you have people sit down and you're trying new techniques on them. So it could be like holistic health fair as well. So we have a lot of new things that you're doing, and I feel like you're trying to change hearts and change people's minds. So people might have, preconceived notions about whatever the product is that you're peddling, or whatever preconceived notions they have regarding the organization that you're sponsoring or you're doing outreach for. And you're going to change their mind, and you're going to do it in such a happy demeanor, and I feel like it's really going to disarm them, and it's really going to help them to come to your side. Okay, so I see a lot of these outreach, and I feel for many of you it's a good way, if you're working on a commission basis, is a really good way to kind of put your name out there and to kind of build up that rapport with other people. I do see this as more of freelance base, or you're doing outreach for You're doing outreach for social organizations that you belong to, where you don't get the compensation, but you're doing it happily, okay? But it's good to put your name out there. It's good for you to connect with an environment, a society, or social organizations. I feel like some of you really need that. What else I'm seeing as well is I'm feeling there are going to be a lot of opportunities this month for you guys to really think about travels. And I feel like for your job in particular, there's a lot of last minute travel. There are a lot of like spur of the moment travel opportunities for these outreach events. Your time tied up in the office is no more, okay? So I feel like you're going to be the face that people see. You're going to be like that energy that people need in order to get things going. You guys are actually very, very social. Your sign in particular, you have like almost like a laser like focus when it comes to absorbing new information and relaying technical information in layman's terms, being able to make technical information, like break down technical information into, you know, everyday jargon so that people can understand, so that the layperson can understand. So I feel like you have a natural gift for that. And on top of that, you guys always look pleasant and charming and just polite and just like the sweetest, nicest people. And so you're going to be able to get a lot of people to come to your booth and to get a lot of clients and to get, you know, to be kind of like the face of the product.